Hello everyone, I'm Brad.
I'm Michal.
This is my beautiful wife.
Michal.
And welcome into our home.
Okay, so what we have decided to do is to have a conversation, just the two of us, but to let you in on it. So we're going to film.
So just for the record, we've been married for almost 10 years and we're still talking.
We're still talking.
As of Sunday 18th of August at 9:31. So we're doing well for now.
Doing well.
This is really just to give you a window into our relationship and marriage and the way we bring up our children.
Brad, are we happily married?
Yes, Michal.
We should probably
we
decide on that before we
are.
start sharing.
Of course we are.
Okay.
A lot of people share things that they're not good at, so you never know.
Yeah. But that's also part of it. I don't want to jinx us or anything, but we feel like we have a happy home. I don't know if I should say that publicly, but I'll announce that we have a happy home. We still love each other, 10 years in, 5 kids, one of them's 3 months old. And so we're not here to give advice or anything, obviously.
I don't really feel that we have, we're not here to share the gospel. This is really the way that we see it and the way that we do it. But
it works for us?
Well,
sort of.
We can always do more, but so far it's been good, and we'd be really happy to learn from you and to hear other people's point of views. We don't think we've got it all in the bag, and we're very open to hearing and continuing to learn.
Okay.
So first one, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so protein supplements, not that one. Podcast.
Hope that was a joke.
Okay, so the first question that we're going to discuss in our little mini-series is, how do you know you found the right person?
Okay, do I have to start?
You want me to start?
Yeah.
I would say like this. I would say that whether you met the right person or not, it doesn't matter. Right? It could be you met the right person, it could be that you didn't meet the right person. Right? It could be that this is your besher, this is like your special one that you needed to meet, or it could be that it wasn't, and this is the worst person for you in the entire universe. Right? But I think the question that really matters is, this is who you're with, how can you make it work? And I think that...
Are you saying that you could marry anyone, it's just a matter of making it work?
I think that technically you can marry anyone and have a good relationship.
I could list a few girls and you might not agree.
I think that it comes down to you, right? Is she the right one? You will never know the answer to that, right? And if you'll never know the answer to it, because there's never going to be a voice coming from the sky, at least not to me, that comes and says, Michal is the right one. And if we don't know what it is, that means that we're not supposed to know what it is, because if God wanted to tell us she was the right person, there'd be like flashing lights around you, and it'd be like, yes,
I thought I had flashing lights.
You do, but it's of a different type. Okay. So obviously God doesn't want us to know that.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't want us to know, it's because it's not important to us. What is important is you've married this person, now make it work. And I once heard something quite amazing, is that if your relationship is a 7 out of 10, or a 5 out of 10, or a 3 out of 10, that doesn't matter, because if you work at it, you can go up to be a 10 out of 10. And if your relationship is 10 out of 10, let's say this is the person you're supposed to marry, and this is like the right one, and you knew it. But if you didn't work on your marriage, it's going to go down to a 3. So essentially, I think that's a question that we focus on a lot, and people like really think about it a lot, but it's actually not an important question. It's not a question that we should really be focusing on, because it distracts us from the work that we have to be doing. And the work we have to be doing is doing everything to make our relationship better.
Yeah, but for someone who's actually searching, does that mean that whoever the first date you're on with, just stick it out and make it work?
No, I think that you have to...
Clearly there is a criteria that we should discuss.
Yeah, there's a criteria. You have to sort of know, when you go into it, you have to try and make sure you can find the best person for you. But imagine you scan, like you're on the street and you're scanning like 100 different women, right? It's not like there's going to be like a measure where it's like red light, red light, red light, then you see the right person, green light. Like, I don't think we ever will know, but you sort of, when you meet a person, you try and gauge.
I feel like I had a lot of red light, red light, red light, green lights.
Whew.
No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
I think people do. I think people do have a feeling of this one's right for me and these ones are not.
So what feeling is that?
As is the reason that you dated other girls and didn't continue with them.
But what is the reason that you, what made you feel that something was right versus something was not right?
I think that's the question. But first, can we acknowledge that there are some people that it's not right and there are some people that are I agree that you can take the right person and break down your marriage, and you can take the wrong person and make it work.
Yeah.
I mean, the proof in the pudding is that for many generations it was a bit like that. You would just set up, people got together, and we don't really know, but I assume that they made it work because family's been valued for generations, and we haven't lost our love of family.
True. And today there's people that have been dating for years and they get married and they get divorced.
And they separate. Yeah. So, okay, so this probably is value in that on one leg, but at the same time, you know, we have progressed, we do have choice, we can choose nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, obviously, there's no clear answer that I know or that anyone really knows to this, and I'm sure it's a different experience for anyone, but I can speak about mine. I remember before I first met you, because I had heard amazing things about you, I was so excited to meet this guy.
Let's not go down this road. Okay.
Let's go down this road.
No.
I'm gonna let you down. But then when we first met, like for the first time, I was meeting a human, not just stories. I was meeting a person face to face that I had never met before.
So I didn't live up to the expectations.
Well, I was.
So as I said, we've been speaking until 9:39.
Well, I'm the one who believes in choice, so
okay.
I clearly chose you as well. But no, in a relationship, at least the way that we did it, it was let's first figure each other out, see if this works, and then naturally in time, everything like internal will build around that. You know, the love, the relationship, the depth, the bond, the history, all of that stuff.
So how did you know that it was right?
Okay, so our first date and the first few dates, I guess.
Yeah. You were utterly disappointed.
No, it was natural. It was really, really natural. I felt like I had met another sibling that I had never known before. Yeah, I was like, okay, we're on the same wavelength, we're made of the same stuff. We clearly have it was important for me to meet someone of a certain quality. You clearly had that quality. I could tell from the start that you cared about family from what you said about your mum.
What I said about my mum?
And your dad and your whole family.
Always talk about your mum on your first date. It obviously works.
Yeah. I could tell that you had big dreams for your life, your home.
That's true.
Yeah, I could tell all of that on first. You can get the quality of a person straight away. And if it's not the sort of life that you want to live up to, well then they're not for you. If they're too lazy for you on some level, then it's also probably not for you. But you can get a sense of the quality, and if there's a match. There was a clear match when we first met. It was clear that on paper we would work, that the values and all of that sort of stuff.
Right, but I think on paper you can work with anyone or with a lot of people.
I don't think so. I think that, you know, if I want to be very, very, home-based, etc., and you want to be a traveller and not have kids for like ages, that's a problem. If I want to settle down now and you want to settle down in 50 years, that's also probably a problem that you should probably talk about early on.
Yeah.
Like there are certain things, I think, and for me in the past, there were always clear things that from the start I knew would be a big bother for me with other people. Was that no, we're not matching in certain ways, and I know that's going to be difficult. But with you, it was clear that I was meeting a certain quality. And later on, we built the more internal things. Like everyone says, what do you need? All you need is love. All you need is love. For us, love, I don't know about you, but I think it didn't come on the first date. But love is something that it didn't take long because we had the stuff to work with. It's not like we were fighting against each other to see if we could fall in love. Like we were working with a great product, we were working with a great match, and then it was just about time.
Yeah.
But what was important, for me at least, and everyone should have a different list of values and things that they're looking for in their spouse, but for me what was important that I saw in you was that you were a very kind person, you were very modest.
Okay, this is not a eulogy for me, please.
It's not a
Wait a
eulogy,
few years,
but you
please.
asked what counts, and
Okay.
I chose you, so you're going to have to handle my compliments.
Okay.
But yeah, it mattered to me, and there were also certain, like, our values were all in place, our character, our personalities were extreme opposites, and clear to me from the beginning as well, that you were a principal, I was a bit more chilled and whatever, that you were, I don't know, very driven and focused. I was like, go with the flow sort of thing. I don't know, I can continue because we are quite different.
Yeah.
Values were in place, but I actually appreciated those things in you. I appreciated the differences because they were things that I didn't have and I felt lacking in, and I knew that it would work well. I knew that it would be a good balance. So it was all up here at the beginning. It was a decision. It was, is this guy right for me? Well, do we want the same things? Do we have the same time plan? Generally, like stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And our character matched. It was clear we were going to be good for each other. It wasn't too much of the same or, too much of different.
So, if I want to summarize, how do you know you've met the right person or you're married to the right person? Saying, well, you got similar values, you connect in character traits, even though they're not the same, but you match in that way. You don't have to be the same, but you have to connect with the other person's character traits. What else?
And just the quality of life, the type of life that they want to have.
Okay,
and
like
I
a
don't
vision
mean,
for the vision for your future.
Yeah, I mean, do they want children or are they anti-kids? Are they going to go protesting every single protest that's out there? Or are they, very accepting of all opposites, etc.? Like, are you going to be working with fire from the start, or are you dealing with someone who's made of the similar stuff to you? Yeah.
Okay. That's nice.
What about you? Brad, how do you know you've met the one?
You don't know. Like I said, you don't know. You have to...
but you said after the second date you were pretty sure.
That's why I think that it's just a person has a feeling inside.
Yeah.
Right? I just knew it the second time I met you. First time was just stars. But no.
You've definitely never said that. That can't
no,
be true.
No, that's not true.
First one was just
First
really
time
long.
was average and long, and we walked very many kilometres.
And we talked about tons of stuff.
Yeah. But the second time I did feel, that I knew that this was right, like I felt it was right.
Yeah.
But this is like the point that I was trying to make, and that is that just because it feels right, and it did feel right, and I really believed that it was right, and I knew inside that it was right, but that means a lot, but doesn't mean so much, because if you've met the right person or not, right, I think that you can have a fantastic life either way. It's like you can be in an average job or you can be in a great job. And I think that you could really, whatever your situation, if you look at it positively, if you're motivated, if you've got strong values, you can make your way up in that particular career, and you can do really great things and impact the people around you. And I think that marriage, and like maybe I'm looking at it in like a very scientific way, I don't know, but I just feel that marriage can be made to work. And that's in my eyes a very important thing, because not everyone will feel that they've married the right person. Right? And if they've been married for 20 years and they got 3 kids and the kids are growing up and the marriage is like not so sure about it, I think it's dangerous. You're right to say what you're saying, but it's dangerous to say you only know it's the right thing because of this. I think that it's important to know that, yes, ideally you make sure you know exactly what you're getting into and you know who the person is and you feel that connection. Yeah. But I think that it comes down to, if it just comes down to a feeling and like it just...
Yeah. I have to say as well that people change over time. You know, 2 30-year-olds get married. They marry 30-year-olds at that stage in their finding of their own identities.
Yeah.
But then you marry to a 35-year-old, you marry to a 40-year-old, and they can change. So there is what to say that, okay, you get to make the choice once and then you sign the document, you're stuck together.
Yeah.
So make the choice and have a good feeling and get it all right from the onset. But what if you suddenly change or they change? I think what you're saying has a lot of value to it, which is that no, you can actually make it work.
And It's not only that you can make it work.
I believe it too. It's like, what's a marriage meant to be? Is it meant to be this like fluffy, you know, not fluffy, but perfect thing where each person is, you know, happy all the time and no one has a breakdown ever, and, you know, life just flows perfectly and you balance each other out? Or is a marriage just meant to be two people getting through life together with their ups and with their downs, with their changes, yet they're in it together?
And with love, I'm going to stop you there.
And with a lot of work.
I'm going to stop you there because that's going to be maybe the topic for next week.
What?
What you just said?
Well, what's the topic?
What is marriage supposed to be? What is it supposed to be?
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's...
So you're just going to stop?
I don't know, I might be wrong. I think we'll stop.
Okay. Nice meeting you.
Nice to still be talking at 9:48. Thank you for watching. Please let us know if you think we're on the right lines.
Yeah.
If you think we're totally off.
Or just a simple question. How do you guys think that you knew that you found the right person?
Yeah.
Yeah. In the comments.
How do you guys
below
know you think you knew you met the right person?
Yeah. See you later.
Bye.